Jill here with my next video. This video will be sort of a continuation of the last one, where I used Magicals and texture, blended fiber, texture medium. And you had seen in that video the preliminary sketch for this girl. I finished her up in pencil. She's kind of a Flappers 20s girls look with this hat, and I intend to put all kinds of texture in her hat and glass bead gel, pardon me, which I haven't used in a long time. And instead of the blended fibers, I'm going to use gloss gel to create texture in the background. I wanted to find a stencil that kind of looked deco. This would be the only one I have that I could think of as deco. This is a Gulf Sprite stencil. Thank you, Christy. I love this stencil. So I'm going to be using that for the background, but not in her hat. I'll have to use something different in her hat. I also hope to use, there goes the lid, some of the last 4 colors of Magicals I haven't used. And I don't even really know what these colors look like. I'll have to swatch them out real quick. I'm thinking maybe a mint green and the teapot purple. I don't know, the 2 reds. There's Queen of Hearts red and Cheshire Cat cherry. I don't know. We'll see. That'll be a decision as we go. First step, so I can get it to dry, is to get this gel medium on the background without getting it on her. That's going to be tricky. In my recent videos, I noticed there's a lighting issue. The light fades in and out. The camera somehow is reading light wrong. Nothing's changing in my lighting. It has to be what the camera is reading. So today, as an experiment, I had gotten a new big photography light on a stand. I actually got 2 of them on yard sale for a really good buy. Today I shut that off, and I'm going just with, there, I moved my 1 light, just with the 2 lights I always used to use. And let's see how this video goes, because maybe that's my mistake. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to cover up this side so I don't get anything on her. Let's just put that on there. So, let's get started. So I decided to do a speed version on this part and a voiceover, because applying the gel medium is really kind of long and tedious. Just simply applying it through the stencil, moving the stencil around, cleaning it off in between to make sure I don't get gel medium too much on her face and skin where I don't want it. Okay, it's not even close to dry, but I'm anxious to keep moving. I cleaned up, and I don't know if you can actually see that, but you will see it as we go, as we add color. Okay, so, hoping that's still in my screen. I hit it a tiny bit with a heat gun, hoping just to at least get that surface dry so that if I touch it, I won't really mess it up. Now, my reference picture, this beautiful woman had this hat that was beaded with like glass beads in beautiful patterns, and this giant flower that was all sparkly. I don't have a stencil that would work for that flower, and I don't know if this will work or not, but I'm going to try it. This is my glass bead gel. A translucent textural blend of genuine glass beads, dries with good clarity when applied in a thin film. So I have used this and loved it, not recently though. I'm going to see if I can apply the glass bead gel in the shape of these petals that I just have like, they're not even seriously sketched. Let's see. Let's see if I can just, and then later on do some outlining with color. I don't know. The key is going to be leaving sections without the glass beads. Let's see. They will accept color on top of them. Ooh. I think I bit off a little more than I can chew here. Well, okay. There's 2 petals done. The knife is almost not small enough to make these thin ones. Maybe it doesn't have to be every petal. Oops. There's a mistake. I gotta scrape that off. It's alright, that all scrapes off. I might have taken a little bit of, let's get rid of that, because I might have taken a little bit of the gloss gel off at the same time. The key is having just the right amount. Okay, I'll take it. I don't know why I experiment with brand new things on video. You would think I'd have tried it first, but I didn't. I think it's working out. Try and bring some of these to a little point. There. There's another, oh, that one fell perfectly. I'm not going to touch it again. And once again, being that this is white on white, I don't know how much you can see. But I hope that you will see it all as I put the color. Okay. Now my big question is, do I need any in there by her face? I think I do. All right, I'm going to be okay with that. In the picture, I'm actually not sure what's over here. If it's more like a smaller flower or a smaller piece of fabric of the same, but I'm going to put some of this over here. Now it's going right over top of the gloss gel, and that's okay. Perfect. Now, since this background is going to be very busy, I think I'm going to keep her hat not so busy. But I want a hint of this gel. It's such a gritty sound, you hear that? Scraping across the beads. It's a hard decision to know how much to put there. I think it's enough, but I want it to more follow the shape of her head there. All right, now, I really feel like she needs some sort of a dress, but my reference picture didn't show a dress, and it actually stopped right about here, and she had bare shoulders and no straps. For me to visually know where straps go, one strap would have to come down here, one strap would have to go over the shoulder. I can't deal with straps, but maybe if I just put some glass bead gel down here, she wouldn't look totally naked. I'm not sure. This is just going to be a suggestion of a dress. What do you think? That's her arm there, so I'm going to take that off. There. I'm not sure the shape is right, though. Let's go. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Does it look stupid there? I'm not sure. I'm sitting here hesitating. Let me see if I can get some of this off my palette knife. Maybe it goes too far. Does that look even more stupid? I don't know. I don't know what to do. You know what? I don't like it. Somehow it draws the eye where I don't want it to. I'm just scraping that off. And I'm going to take my... I think we're just going to fade into nothing down there and leave it alone. I sure hope you guys have these same dilemmas and get something out of watching me work through mine. So now I have to let this dry to continue. I will be back. So I decided to keep this part of the video in. It was my swatching and playing with the 4 colors while I waited for my other work to dry. Here I'm just opening up my 4 colors. As you can tell, 2 of them I never even used. They still had paper on them. I'm using a piece of Canson watercolor paper, lots of water, splashing them, playing with them, spattering to see which 2 colors I want. So from left to right, we have the Mad Hatter Mint, the Teapot Purple, the Cheshire Cat, no, Queen of Hearts Red, and then Cheshire Cat Cherry. It looks like 3 of them may be iridescent, all but the first, the second, and the fourth seem to be iridescent and have the variations of color, where the red, Queen of Hearts Red, seems to be a flat color. So I decided on my original instinct, which was the mint green and the purple. I'm starting off with a layer of water on her hat. I'm not comfortable using the sprayer. I want to keep her skin and her face dry so that if I splash any powder over onto it, it'll just blow or brush right off without staining the paper. So enjoy this section. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm starting with the green on her hat and the purple in the background. You'll see at times I mix the 2 together. I started off with the fan brush, sprinkling it on. Eventually I found it was just worth it to keep dipping a wet brush into the pigment powder and brush with it. As a side note, you do not have to have magicals for this process. You could use anything. You could use acrylic inks. You could use high flow acrylics. You could use watered down acrylics. You could use Inktense. Sure, maybe even Neocolor 2 crayons. So don't feel to do this you have to have magicals. It's just something I'm trying to use that I have in my studio. You also don't have to do a woman's face. This process is beautiful for any kind of art journal page. The texture work with the gels first and letting them dry and then going over with color is just basic mixed media art. mixing a little bit of green into that purple in the background muddies it up a little, but I like that effect. The bright purple in a solid color to me is just boring, and there's something cohesive about mixing the two colors together. I almost always just use 2 or 3 colors and mix them together in different parts of a page or painting. Okay, I'm back. It's dry. And I think I'm finally going to use this J. Herbin, I don't know how to say it, beautiful ink, Emerald de Chivor. I've been shaking it to get the iridescence from the bottom. This is one of my favorite fountain pen inks, but I don't want to contaminate the bottle, so I don't want to dip right into it with my brush. Gotta take a pipette, put a little bit down here. That's probably even too much. Put the lid on so I don't spill it. Look how fast the iridescence starts settling to the bottom. But that's the other thing with this. Now it's got some iridescence in there, and I keep mixing it up. I got out a tiny brush. This is a 3/0 round by Creative Mark. See how tiny that is? It might be, I don't know, or this one. I'm going to start with the tinier one. What I want to do is outline the petals on the flower of her hat. So let's see how this goes. Now this is a water-soluble ink, so after this I can't really, unless I want it to move around, I can't really use any wet media on it. I'm going to hold the brush way back, try and be loose. I'm having a hard time remembering where my petals were. I know this was a big one here. Obviously, I don't want it to be a perfect flower. I just want it to be a suggestion of a nice, loose, floppy flower. Work my way across. Some of these petals came out, right? So it's a green ink, but it really comes out a lot blue. Has a lot of blue in it. And against that mint green, it does look blue. Just make some loose marks around here. What do you think? Just gonna need it. Look how much ink I have here. I have to do something with that. Over here, just some loose marks. I can outline part of her hat. Kind of goes behind her head there, behind her face. Okay. I'm gonna have to have a really steady hand and be bold. Go across here. Oh. Okay. Done. I don't think I want to outline the entire hat, but I could make some texture marks into it. Let's see. Kind of like folds. And some shadowing back here. I'm so tempted to put some of that color into her eyes, but I'm going to leave her face black and white. All right. So there's the ink details on her hat. Again, now I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this ink. I'll probably just put it aside and maybe, I don't know, do something on another page after I turn off the camera. So I'm not sure if she's done. All right, after thinking about it for a minute, I decided to take this wide brush and a little bit of water and water this down a bit. It's still going to be really strong, but it's not straight. And see how the green, more water you add, the more blue it becomes for a green ink. I'm going to brush it around in some spots. I don't know if it'll make a difference or not. I think it adds a little bit of rich color. Maybe a little bit of an antiquing look around the edge. Oops, look, it went right on her skin. Oh well. I got sloppy there. Now, one last, let's take a little bit of that watered down blue. And let's be bold, some of the straight green. I don't know, I'm just adding some color and texture in her hat. I wonder if I should leave it at that. I think I should leave it at that. I think she's pretty. And I think she's done. Well, I'm trying to put my palette over here without tipping it. Alright, so let's see. Get rid of this. There are some close-ups. It's very shiny. I love the texture in the background. I'm really happy with this stencil and the way you can't tell where one starts and one stops. I like the way the flower on her hat turned out. I like the look of the glass bead gel. Let me know what you think. I thank you again for watching and for supporting and leaving me such wonderful comments. I hope to get this put up by tomorrow, Sunday, and I will see you again next week with the next video. Have a wonderful day.